Or what's up YouTube, JMontana36 here. It's actually been a while since like 2 years or so that I've actually last done this. Or my first and last time doing this. August 18th, 2016. I created the first original vBoxSysInfoMod. So I'm going to be showing you how to use version 6. Basically what it allows you to do is modify the system information like under MSInfo32 and various other places, as well as like Task Manager where it shows where it says like VM yes, can also change that so it doesn't show up at all. So first what you want to do is in Google just type my name or search for vBoxSysInfoMod. And typing vBoxSysInfoMod actually gives you the GitHub page for it. And my name shows my website followed by the GitHub. So the way it's distributed now through my website is in a repacked form. And this is the way that I would advise you to download it because there's false positives now, or there have been since version 1. So to get around that, I have a repacked version now. So basically want to download the repacked version. Once it's downloaded, open it up, extract it somewhere to like say the desktop. I already have it. And basically the repacked version is a container within a container. This you actually wouldn't see. So I'll redo that step. So this is what it looks like. Want to unpack and launch. Basically here you have a little warning that tells you about the false positives. So basically want to temporarily disable the antivirus for the duration that you're using vBoxSysInfoMod for. And afterward, it doesn't matter if you have it enabled or not. So it unpacks. I believe the auto launch function of this is broken somehow, so end up with the folder. Next, you can launch vBoxSysInfoMod 6. And the difference between the first and version 6 is big. There is now a reset function as well as different options to choose from. It doesn't just take you straight into modify VM, but one of the bigger things you can do here that stands out is highlighting things, and then you can right click twice. Right click once to copy and right click again to paste. Basically, what you have here is a list of different, well, all your virtual machines that you have available in VirtualBox. One I'll be using this on is Win10 Dummy Test VM. So select it and right click twice. System manufacturer, we can put a Dell Optiplex. I'll put 740, I guess. As for, say, the BIOS date, you actually don't need to put anything here. You can leave this, but I would advise you to set a date if you're going to say something along the lines of, like, you just got the computer, say, a year ago. Select a random date from like a year ago, or if you're gonna say you got it 5 years ago, select like a day from 5 years ago, something along those lines. So this doesn't really matter too much, but as I said, you can leave it blank. It tells you to make sure you close the virtual machines, or else it might result in data loss. Nothing is running, but here you see it suppresses the task manager stuff and applies the other things. And then afterward, what it does is it'll automatically start the virtual machine. And now you have credits. It takes you over to credits. If you use the Discord command, you basically have Discord pop up in the browser. And if you have Discord running on the computer itself, it'll direct into Discord. YouTube will bring up my main channel, or my original YouTube channel. This I'm actually going to be changing. I'm moving all my original stuff over, or my tech stuff, over this channel. So in the next version, or maybe minor version, I'll have the YouTube stuff updated, and the site basically points to my website where you can get pack version of vBoxSysInfoMod. And reset VM, I'll show you that in a while. Where I show you that changed here. Virtual machines just like to take forever for this one. I really need to get a better processor, like say AMD FX processors or AMD Ryzen or something along those lines. FX would be cheaper route though, but I still can't afford that yet. About like $200 yet, or say about 700 if I go with Ryzen. Because with FX I'd be able to get a board that supports it as well as FX processor, and that's it. Anyway. Manufacturer is now Dell, system model 740, and the BIOS version slash date is VirtualBox default at December 1st, 2006. under Task Manager here, to performance, I believe. Yeah, performance. There's nothing here other than virtualization that says not capable. Everything else is like typical, although slightly different than what you'll see on an actual. Basically changed, and here I'll show you what the reset functionality does. So again, you can just copy and paste. Another thing to note here is because I already selected a virtual machine previously during this session of vBoxSysInfoMod, I no longer need to copy and paste the name again. I can just hit enter here and it'll automatically know that I want to mess with the one that I selected previously. And there's no selecting anything other than that for that. It'll restore the Task Manager indicators as well as the VirtualBox default, and it'll again power on the virtual machine for you and bring you back the credits. And I'll be showing modify VM again afterward. So the actual main function or reason that I created the reset function is back before the vBoxSysInfoMod repack days, there was version 2 that appeared at the top instead of version 4 or version 3, 5 at the time. And I had to implement a custom show files to actually show it in a better order, since there wasn't really a way to sort it by version, just doing its own thing. But anyway, as you can see, it's back to defaults here. And this was the thing that I first found out about, where it says a hypervisor has been detected. So you see I mentioned that in my original video, I believe. And that's where I got the idea from, that's what did this. Where it says virtual machine yes. So basically what vBoxSysInfoMod does is it disables the hypervisor, and that is what makes this go away. So the source code I can also show you afterward. I'm probably going to go over the entire revision. So again, I'm going to set the things back to what I had last time so I don't have to enter anything. And I'll put yesterday's date on this. As you can see, we're back to being a Dell Optiplex 740. And you can actually select a non-existent manufacturer as well as model if you choose. So if you want the manufacturer to be, well, basically, like I said, it can be anything. Don't really have to explain that. And we're back to virtualization not capable. And then there's also this other thing. So if you search for my name and GitHub, I have this project here, vBoxVirtDevMod. I'm not entirely sure if it works for every virtual machine. It might only work for mine specifically, but a thing you can try. Basically what it does is allows you to rename your VirtualBox devices. So I'll just drag that one from my previous video out. And Device Manager probably still has the old names here. It's from last time, I should say. It still does. So was this? If I can stop being blind, find it. I don't know how I was that blind, but yeah, those are the same. Just change the friendly name here to say CD-ROM by itself. Save it and close it. We'll edit this one as well. We'll say we'll set keys to say HDD by themselves. Now again, I don't know if this will every person, and if it doesn't, I'll probably just discontinue this because there isn't really a way I can think of to make it function. Graphics adapter. Not sure why it's in this weird formatting, but I'll put Intel HD graphics. Manufactured Intel. And basically, the simple installer just imports all of these with the, oh, that's the other thing I need. The set ACL. It's not included, but you have to basically download it. Once you have run it before, like I have, you don't really need it anymore, and it'll just throw you some errors for not having it. But want to download set ACL, I can't distribute it because of the license, so download it manually and then copy it. Once you have it there, you run the installer. I forgot to run it as admin anyway, so run as administrator. And it failed because Windows is dumb in that regard. I actually have to manually run it. So we'll just copy this and we'll change to the directory. And here, we'll run it that way. And now, whenever we scan for hardware changes, the name should be different. Now they're all named HDD. This is Intel HD graphics CD-ROM. And like I said earlier, I have no idea if it works on every virtual machine, but if it doesn't, there's not really much I can do about it. So here, basically install anything else that you want. And once you're done, you can probably just take a snapshot and scam baiting. So I also did want to show the source code. So currently there's two, or there's three, but actually in reality only two places here. There's the source code which shows the main GitHub, and there is history, which shows the history for every revision or every released version. And repack just has a mirror of the files basically. There's branch master, but you can switch to has an exact copy pretty much of the repack. And the only difference between 4 and 6 is really the file itself that's inside. Because V6 is V6 of vBoxSysInfoMod and V4 is V4. So here, as you can see, this started from the and I believe I initially started from or I mean yeah, this was V3 that I initially uploaded. Then you can see here I did some I implemented like the masking for task manager stuff for version 4. This was like version 4 beta 1 essentially. Not every revision I made is there though, but here has just the revisions for well, this has everything literally. Has the binaries, compiler, downloaded zip that you actually downloaded, the zip that is extracted, the original license, the readme, and well, the readme is just for the repository. But as for the file itself, you can see from version 1 all the way up to version 6. Version 1 I don't think many people have actually seen, but this is how it started. This is the version from my original video. Then we have V2, the version that was broken. Because what this did, I'm not sure why it acted the way it did and broke everything, but here it basically had EFI and BIOS, so I guess you can't have both. So that's probably what broke it. V3, as you can see, has things separated. This is where and why it eventually started asking EFI or BIOS mode. And basically, if you selected BIOS, it would take you. Yeah, I think this is wrong. Okay, something is not right here actually. Oh, actually I was reading this wrong, that's why. Because I saw this here, these two lined up and it confused me for a second. But the red means that it was basically just removed. So I basically removed these and I moved them into their own separate dedicated section. So you have the EFI section here and you have the BIOS section here. And that's what fixed it. Version 4 is when I implemented the task manager. So it disables the hypervisor. Version 5, I forgot exactly what I did here. I updated some variables basically, and I believe okay, so no, this isn't the version that I fixed the hard-coded place or hard-coded location. Right, so I guess between version 4 and version 5, the real difference was only like code cleanup, basically code ver. And I have version 5.1 that I've never released as an actual command version. So it was like a GUI beta. And the GUI beta you can only really find on the other GitHub. So here I've basically did more code revision to make this work, and I believe I had also implemented the this is version 5.1 is where I implemented that and select a custom location. 5.2 version 5.2 was minimalistic. I fixed this thing here where if you had spaces you couldn't like spaces in your virtual machine name you would be able to proceed. And version 6 is a major rewrite. There's so much added. Proud of where I've gotten to 6 from V. Yeah, for those of you who want to see the source code, there it is. The source code can be found on the same exact page pretty much. And the license is under Creative Commons share alike. So you can basically edit the source code and all that, create your own version for it, but you have to pretty much follow the license. So license, you're free to share, copy, and redistribute the material in any medium or format, adapt, remix, transform, and build upon. The license cannot be revoked as long as you follow the license terms, and the terms are attribution. So you must give appropriate credit, provide a link to the license, and indicate if changes were made. So basically, if you share it, you still have to link to the license, so you can't exactly just share the executable by itself. You have to actually include a link to the license. And you have to indicate if any changes were made, unless it's like, say, the executable, or not the executable, but the packaging itself that I myself distribute. Non-commercial should be self-explanatory. You can't use it for commercial purposes. I'm not even able to myself, being that I don't get paid for working on vBoxSysInfoMod and share alike. So if you remix, transform, or build upon, must distribute it under the same license. And there are no real additional restrictions. Yeah, that's basically it. So Discord, you're also able to join. There's the connect button. the Discord, and there are links in the description as well as in various other places. There's also a donate if you wish to donate. My only donator or my only donor is Box Sarcasm from I've got a Patreon set up finally, as well as a Streamlabs, which if you donate to, show up on stream. And PayPal, you can donate directly to me, even though I believe Patreon and Streamlabs may. Well, I know Streamlabs does PayPal directly, but Patreon, I'm not sure what their method is, but you can probably use PayPal with them too. Donate directly. And donating directly means that it won't think so no one. So if you want to be on stream, you'll likely want to Streamlabs. Or if you want, you can also do Patreon. This is what my Patreon page looks like currently. There's a little bit about me here. I may actually also put this in my Discord and make an about me on my site. Yeah, you can become a Patreon if you wish, so you don't have to. And this is what my Streamlabs page looks like. There's also a wishlist section that shows the things that I want. So if you want to buy things for me, that's also pretty much an option. I'll probably be adding a bit, like not just Streamlabs, but some other. I come across them, get suggestions about them. Yeah, that's gonna do it for this stream/video. If you guys enjoyed, leave comments down below about what you think I should do next and or what I can or should do better. And I'll see you in the next stream or and this is exactly why I typically disconnect the network adapter. I don't really care about updates in this machine. So yeah. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'll probably do shorter, more simple ones in the future. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe, like I said, if you want to see more. Leave a dislike if you didn't like it, and give me some feedback on what you want to see next, what I can improve on, and things like that. I'll see you all in what I do next.